Bran the Builder, legendary founder of House Stark. Born in the Age of Heroes, some 6,000 to 8,000 years before modern Westeros time, many stories tell of his deeds. His origin is debated, and in the Reach, they say Bran was a descendant of Brandon of the Bloody Blade, a son of Garth Greenhand. Since the Reach also claims Garth Greenhand was the first king of the First Men, this may just be a way for the Reach to say, nah, our legendary founder gave rise to yours, and increase the prestige of being from the Reach. The first accomplishment attributed to Bran is in the Stormlands. King Doran, the first Storm King, had married the daughter of a sea god and goddess Awyn, despite their disapproval. When the two gods discovered their daughter had married the Storm King, and in the process gave up her immortality, their wrath was terrible. On Doran's wedding night to their daughter, they destroyed his keep and killed all his family and guests. The king seethed with rage and declared war on the gods. He built a castle to face the sea, but the sea god and wind goddess knocked it down. He then built another castle, stronger and more powerful, but again, the gods destroyed it. Every attempt the Storm King made to rebuild was met with a similar end. Gale winds would come howling up, and great walls of water would crash on his walls. Lords begged for him to build inland, and to give the gods their daughter back, but the king refused, and may have continued building castles only to have them destroyed, if not for Bran the Builder. Just a boy at the time, Bran came to his aid and advised him on the construction of what would be the Storm King's 7th castle. The young Brandon designed castles with stones that fit so well, wind could not enter. The wall of the castle was made with a double course of stones, with an inner core of sand and rubble, 40 feet thick at its narrowest, and up to 80 feet thick where it faced the sea. Bran's plans included the construction of a singular tower that looked like a spiked fist atop an upthrust arm from far away. This castle, known as Storm's End, was built so well that no matter how hard the gods raged at it, the walls would not break. Because Storm's End is rumored to be protected by magic, there are some theories that Bran either had magic woven into the walls, or the children of the forest had a hand in it. Next, as a man, and at the end of the long night, when the others were defeated and sent back to the far north, Bran took it upon himself to ensure the lands of Westeros were safe from any future attack from the others. Seeking aid from the children of the forest, as had been done before to defeat the others, Bran was taken to a secret place to meet with them. At first, he couldn't understand what they were saying, and described their speech as sounding like wind through leaves, rain upon the water, or like the song of stones in a brook. Eventually, Bran learned to understand their speech, and they agreed to help him construct the wall. With the assistance of giants, men, and mammoths, he built the wall 300 miles in length from the Frostfangs Mountain in the west to the Bay of Seals in the east. Giants and mammoths did the heavy lifting, and the children wove powerful ancient spells and sorcery into the wall. Building the foundation east of current-day Castle Black's location wasn't hard due to favorable terrain. The wall is mostly straight from Castle Black to the Bay of Seals, but to the west of the current-day Castle Black, to the Frostfangs Mountain, is another story. This part of the wall is described as sweeping in over one huge humped hill, the ice dipped down into a valley, climbed the knife edge of a long granite ridgeway for a league or more, ran along a jagged crest, dipped again into a valley deeper still, and then rose higher and higher, leaping from hill to hill as far as the eye could see, into the mountainous west. From that description, we can see Bran had to get creative with the foundation path from time to time. Besides the foundation, the height Bran originally had it built to is unknown, but the wall would eventually reach 700 feet high over the years as the men of the Night's Watch added on to it. After the wall was built, Bran then gifted the Night's Watch with land south of the wall for 25 leagues, known as Brandon's Gift. This was for their sustenance and support, and the Night's Watch used it to hunt and farm. After building the wall, Brandon decided it was time to build his own home. Going to the heart of the north, where hot springs peppered the land, he constructed Winterfell, the stronghold of his descendants, the Starks and Kings of Winter. Most likely, this castle was much smaller than modern Winterfell. Theory suggests, due to uneven ground and architecture from multiple eras, that the castle was built in pieces over the centuries and wasn't a single planned structure. Some believe Winterfell had even been a series of linked ring forts at one time. Bran left 3 acres that were exclusively for the gods' wood, where Brandon would pray to the gods of the children of the forest, which were now his and many of the First Men's own. From Winterfell, Brandon would rule as the first king of winter, and have at least one child, a son named Brandon. Finally, Bran would assist House Hightower, In the Reach, House Hightower, who were kings at this time, built their seat in the city of Old Town, that they ruled from Battle Isle. The Hightowers first built a tower of wood that rose 50 feet above an ancient fortress at its foundations. Taller timber towers would follow to be used as beacon towers to light a path for trading ships. Because these timber towers were not for living in and exclusively used as beacons, the Hightowers lived in the gloomy vaults, halls, and chambers in the fortress below. At one point, King Uther Hightower decided he needed a seat worthy of his house, and knowing of Bran's deeds, the king commissioned him to build a 5th tower. Brandon came to his aid and constructed a tower made completely of stone that rose 200 feet above the harbor. When Brandon finished the tower, the Hightowers finally had a seat worthy of a great house. And that ends the known deeds of Bran the Builder, a man who thousands of years later would continue to be the stuff of legends, his accomplishments romanticized by singers and storytellers. However, are all these accomplishments real? Bran is connected with an improbable number of fantastic works over a span of hundreds of years. Because of this, some dismiss all these tasks being done by one legendary figure, and instead think they were done by different kings or Brandons of House Stark over the years. And we know there are a lot of Brandons in House Stark's history. George R. R. Martin states, "No one can even say for certain if Bran the Builder ever lived. He is as remote from the time of the novels as Noah and Gilgamesh are from our own time." Even with that in mind, I choose to believe Bran the Builder existed during the Age of Heroes, but that he may not have constructed as many buildings as thought. There are also theories that while Brandon is remembered as a hero and a great man, that perhaps his life ended on a more sinister note. But that is a much darker topic to be saved for another time when I'm wearing my tinfoil hat. However, since there are a lot of other theories on Bran the Builder that we can dive into, if people are interested in a separate video about the theories of Bran the Builder, you can let me know. What do you think? Did Brandon the Builder actually exist? Do you think he did everything he's credited for? You can write your thoughts below. Some people have asked how they can help with the channel and about a Patreon, so I've started one. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's just a site where you can donate per month and you get rewards in return. If you choose to donate, 100% of the funds go back into this channel, including the big Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire project I'm working on. Any little bit helps, and you can click the image on the video or the link in the description to be taken to my page. This was honestly super hard for me to do since I like giving, not receiving, so please don't feel obligated to donate. But if you do, thank you very much. It will greatly help this channel improve and grow, and hopefully bring that special Game of Thrones project I'm working on to you faster that I am so geeked about. Winner of the poster giveaway this week is Psychedelic Tragedy. You'll be getting a YouTube message soon, so keep a lookout because YouTube messaging is terrible and often missed.